Back in 2020, the team suffered
what am I
a
watching?
setback
This
when
is
the
channel
lid
one.
on the collection container
Is that
failed.
one of them?
This is an AI news channel.
Is that an AI person?
It's all AI.
Caused many of the samples to float off into space. NASA's latest asteroid chasing
just think
mission
it's
is
insane.
already on its way into space.
With audiences disappearing online and revenues quickly following, traditional broadcast news is facing an existential threat, and the landscape is becoming more polarised and less trusted as a result.
Recent polls show 69% say they have little or no confidence at all in the news media.
Around the world, artificial intelligence is increasingly being used to bring low-cost news and propaganda to the masses. Arriving into this turmoil is Channel 1, aiming to personalise the viewing experience at scale through its own use of generative AI.
So, like any self-respecting video journalist absolutely terrified about what that'll mean for me in the future, I've come to LA to audition.
Please call Stella. Ask her to bring these things with her from the store: 6 spoons of fresh snow peas, 5 thick slabs of blue cheese, and maybe a snack for her brother Bob.
Awesome. Maybe try one where it's a little more sort of like,
Super
emotive
energetic.
and fun. Yeah, a lighter news kind of feel.
What is the purpose of today?
For all of our models, what we need to do is capture their voice so that when our algorithm looks at that, it can then animate them in any way that we need to for a certain story.
We also need a small plastic snake and a big toy frog for the kids.
The text reads like nonsense, but it covers all the sounds required to create any English language news script. And it doesn't stop there. English is one of over 30 languages currently being tested. The captured footage is then fed into a variety of closely guarded AI systems, creating the voice,
New British Defence Secretary John Healey visited
the lip sync,
WhatsApp in favor of Telegram or WeChat,
and the animated performance of the virtual anchor.
an important constituency in the state.
The news story itself is also scripted and edited by AI, but draws on trusted newswire sources for its information, with the anchor imbuing the story with its own personal slant.
Are you at all sort of concerned about signing away your kind of image rights to AI?
I feel like initially I would be concerned about that, but the reason why I'm comfortable with it is because they're going to be paying kind of like a residual for different stories where we're not like in studio for.
What do you think they're looking for in their presenters? Have you got an inkling?
I don't know. I guess very an outgoing personality can speak well, a good like hosting type of like presence, I guess. But yeah.
Okay.
And with that, it's showtime.
Hello.
Hi. Having been here for a little while, I think my chances are slightly plummeting. But you know, it's all on me. Yeah. This could all be a thing of the past, right? Once AI really comes in. Scary. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
6 spoons of fresh snow peas, 5 thick slabs of blue cheese. She can scoop these things into 3 red bags, and we will go to meet her on Wednesday at the train station. I don't know how they do it, you know. They both seem so calm, didn't they? I already feel very sort of stressed.
What you're doing is great. I think keeping a little bit of motion, because that's kind of what makes this look lifelike, right? People want to see the news from another human. And so in this case, even though it's an avatar, that's part of what makes it feel human, is those little things that you're adding to it.
Why is this happening now?
I think the news industry is in a place today where there's a reason to make some changes. And I think there's economic struggles and there's some narrative struggles. But as far as why it's happening right now, it's because we can.
Our channel is able to have one anchor record hundreds or thousands of stories eventually once we get to scale in all these different languages. And that's the thing that no matter how good a human is, they can't do. And so there's a reason we're doing it. It's not just to replace a human.
The Channel 1 team clearly feel they've spotted a gap in the market and the potential to revolutionise the news industry, dramatically reducing costs in the process.
Question I have is, will anyone actually watch this? Let's find out.
Forget about the past. It's all AI now.
Would you watch?
No.
You give it a go?
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. Because I would think the information comes from the same sources.
We're so far into the age of technology that if anyone or company can save money, they're going to use it.
I'm not a big fan of AI, honestly.
No, but it's coming.
It is, but I hate it.
There are no guardrails. Nothing's in place to let this thing not get out of hand. Frightening.
Might AI offer something a bit different that might even restore some trust somehow.
We would have to understand if the AI is being created to truly be unbiased, because there's eventually going to be a company that is, directing how AI will be used for the news and how it's programmed. So I'm not sure that we can fully trust that either.
I can be concerned about gas prices, but at the end of the day, you can't stop them. They say AI is going to take our jobs. No, the people who know how to use AI are going to take the jobs.
This is the Russian translation that we've got here for you. And as you can see, it's taken the script of the video that we're going to be releasing. The process that you went through is simply the capture process. There is an entirely different process, which is personality formation. We would give you some type of backstory, set of opinions.
And at what point is there that conversation to be had where you say, well, what is your leaning and how do we best represent who you are and what your views might be?
That's a conversation we would have with the talent to make sure that they're comfortable, because I would personally would never want certain things coming out of my mouth.
We're already in this very, very big echo chamber of information, and we live in our little bubbles, and we don't really penetrate other viewpoints as often as we perhaps should. And I just wonder if this is going to compound the problem, or how would it address it?
At some point, we lost our way and we started letting people believe there's no such thing as facts. And that's where you get Fox News, for instance, literally saying stuff that is factually untrue and getting sued. We actually think really it's important for people to be fed a balanced news diet.
That's our societal responsibility as a news network to try to repair some of the things that have happened. And that's the reputation that we want. That's the brand that we want.
I think if I was a news anchor, I'd feel a bit worried now. An AI anchor has the potential to process and communicate vast amounts of data in multiple languages very, very quickly. But I'm hoping that there's still something humans might have to offer.
Live from London, this is CNN Newsroom.
AI news is coming. Are you threatened?
I'm excited about AI because it's going to make my job a lot easier behind the scenes. What we do is get all this information around the world and try to get it on air, and that will speed up rapidly. I think there's an issue with it when it comes to the delivery.
We'll be with you every day, from wherever the news happens.
Because if you take humans out of that, people won't connect with it.
Perhaps in the not too distant future, people will still not be able to tell the difference.
The reality is, we connect with other humans. We find meaning from watching other humans. That's how we find our place in the world. Hello, welcome to our viewers joining us in the US. If you look at our viewing figures when there's breaking news, they are higher than ever. So when it's something that really matters, something that people might make their decisions on, they want a human.
It sounds to me very much like you're not at all worried about the way that AI might change this industry.
Yeah, well, I'm really old and I've been doing it forever. And I've seen these phases before. It is Wednesday, the 1st of November. I'm Max Foster. When I joined, we were recording on tape, and then the internet came along. Who is the most influential person?
32 websites. TikTok launched its in-app shopping feature.
Humans created by AI.
And I just see all of these things as just windows to information. The one consistent is humans bringing it through. And I'm not saying we have to have anchors, but if you're going to have an anchor, it has to be a human. Otherwise, why would you have an anchor?
As luck would have it, I'm about to find out. The Channel 1 team are ready to unveil my own AI anchor.
President-elect Donald Trump's plan to execute the largest deportation in American history is raising fears within immigrant communities both in and outside the US.
And showcase its capabilities.
El plan del presidente electo Donald Trump de ejecutar la mayor deportación en la historia de Estados Unidos. I can see why Max isn't worried. I felt like the story wasn't real because the person wasn't real.
But upon catching up with Adam,
hello,
it sounds very much as though I'm now an AI anchor in search of a channel.
One of the hardest parts of anything in technology is timing. We built it, we watched it, and it was somewhat interesting, but I think I figured out that that wasn't the ideal format for everybody. And for the service that we would love to create, it is extremely ambitious in scope, and it may be more feasible to do in the near future.
So the idea of Channel 1 itself as a kind of an independent rival to some of the big broadcasters, is that dead?
I wouldn't say it's dead. I'd say we figured out a better way to do it.
This new way is offering bespoke AI packages with and without virtual anchors to existing broadcasters, already taken up by networks in Sweden and Turkey. It's another example of AI's creep into our lives by the back door. And while the future of AI news seems up for grabs, I'm left with one burning question.
Did I get the job?
You're hired. You can be an AI anchor anytime you want.
That's thrown me slightly. What are the hours like?